Little 2450 rear bath, couples or singles camping floor plan coming back in on trade here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It was used extensively. Previous owner decided it was time to update, upgrade, swapped her out for a new one here at Haylett RV, right where they came the first time. So obviously we must have done something right. This brings with it the ease, simplicity, lighter weight, and lower budget of no slides. But it still has things like central heating. We still have central air up top. You might have noticed we have a completely carpetless floor. They are also very good in this one about giving us some really large windows. So large, in fact, that obviously the camera has a hard time dealing with them and it makes everything else blacken out, so I can't point directly at them the whole time. You can see we've got easy reach appliance outlets around there, and a big old farm sink with a high-rise sprayer faucet. That's something I think a lot of people have really come to appreciate in newer RVs. 6 cubic foot gas electric fridge freezer, pretty common stuff there. Directly across from us, like I'm standing where the sofa is located, as you'll see in a few minutes. If you wanted to, you could put a TV against the wall. Looks like the previous owner did, so it'd be very easy to remount one to know exactly where to put it. And that is a Bluetooth-friendly stereo system, very streaming media-friendly. Up top, the cabinetry in these is an easily overlooked factor because, you know, not everybody cares about cabinet construction, so it's something a lot of places don't talk about. But it is one of the areas that the Springdale family of RVs, which includes this Summerland here, absolutely excels at. Long story short, they're using higher grade bracing and gusseting materials, and they even include these neat little Teflon bumper glides in their cabinet doors so that as that door expands and contracts from heat, it doesn't tend to split and break. It can kind of breathe a little bit as the RV gains and reduces temperature. Next to the, below the stereo, next to the TV hookups, you have USB plugs. And when I pan down here, a couple things. That's a tilt-open campside window, so you can get some rainy day airflow, plus it's under the awning, which helps. All the original owner's manuals, remote controls, everything's still here, and power outlets below that dinette. There is storage under the seating, and you can fold that down into a sleeper as well. But this bathroom back here is awesome. This is something that was absolutely done right. And usually an entry-level trailer like this doesn't tend to get an extra bathroom window. It doesn't tend to get a big standing shower. They tend to get just a travel trailer tub. And you can see how there is protective shower surround paneling in there. And as I wheel around the corner here, you can see that instead of just a mirror glued on the wall, we have a simple but effective full medicine cabinet. There's also storage below the countertop area here, and I like how there's extra countertop space on either side of that sink. But what really sets this bathroom off here is not any of the stuff I just talked about. It's the fact that you have this absurdly large extra storage compartment in here. So whether you're packing it up for totes, you want to throw hanging storage in here, you could easily add a little hanging rod or something in there. There's just no shortage of things that you could do with it. And big storage like that is something that small trailers do not typically enjoy the benefit of. The elephant in the room right now is definitely that sofa. The RV was used extensively. The previous owner, my understanding, has had some kind of leg issue, did a lot of heat pads and whatnot, and used that sofa pretty much exclusively. Didn't tend to use much of the other seating, it looks like, in the RV. And unfortunately has just worn it down beyond its expected years because it got more than expected use. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. It's still functional. It can still jackknife down into a bonus sleeper. There's a tad bit of storage below it. It just kind of is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, naturally, when we see something like that, we have to take that into account, and we have to make our price tag reflect accordingly. So understand that's definitely something that we're not ignorant to. We're not asking you to turn a blind eye to it, and we are adjusting our price tags on this RV to reflect the current state and condition of it. But that big seat side breeze window and overhead storage right there, that is something that small campers, entry-level campers, don't normally get. And remember that if you open that up for screen door use, you've got obvious and extensive cross-breeze airflow. The whole RV is intended to be simple but effective, and that is absolutely what the bedroom is up here. This bedroom is not an ounce more than it possibly has to be, but does absolutely the bare minimum that it needs to, like those headboard mounted outlets for phone chargers and whatnot. But it does have this one neat little thing over here. It does have a hidden laundry chute, so if you want to throw a laundry basket down there, you can have a place for yesterday's clothes so you don't have that, ugly pile of yesterday's camp clothes staring you in the face every time you go in the bedroom of your camper. Exterior looks pretty darn good. Not old enough to really have, incurred any challenges, but overall looks to have been well maintained. Looks pretty clean. Could use a tiny hose bath if I'm going to be picky, but I think any RV that was very recently actively used, you could probably say the same. You can see how we have a large front cavity up here. You'll also find another cavity in the rear area, as we see when we peel around the trailer. Now we've got an easy tilt power awning with LED lighting. This also has 4-corner power stabilizer jacks. So the idea on this is that your campsite setup is much closer to just push button simplicity. If you were interested to do something like swap out to a power tongue jack, that's no big deal. They are very interchangeable. It's something you could do right here at our parts facility. This does have an enclosed underbelly. This was one of only a few floor plans, however, in the Springdale lineup that did not have a heated belly, mostly just due to the fact that it had a smaller chassis, and to do the extra things required for heating would actually cause certain things to kind of bump down below the enclosure line, but it does still have that extra protection. The tires look to be in good shape. It was used quite a bit, but it does look like tires were, proper inflation and whatnot. Plenty of tread left on here. Obviously, they haven't aged out, and there's no, dry rotting or weather checking or anything on that. So overall, looks pretty darn good. And I do like it whenever I see things like those little screens on that silver furnace exhaust right there, just to help keep the bugs out of this thing. Now, you can walk all over the roof if you are so inclined. And this also has a one-piece seamless floor, which is actually pretty cool. Instead of 4x8 floor sheets, this has a single, 24-foot long by 8-foot wide floor decking. And a neat thing about that is it's a special material made specifically for Keystone RV floors. It's actually got 50% more load rating on it than plywood. Pretty cool. The rear wall back here does have a full outside utility shower. And as I mentioned, outside here we have another outside storage pocket. This one is actually below that big bathroom closet that we saw inside. So instead of having to crawl on your hands and knees near a sink, near a toilet, they made it a little easier to access from outside, which I think most people are going to appreciate anyway. This also does have something you don't see very much today, is that the correct track alignment system. If you don't know what that is, basically once you take this RV home, load it up the way that you want to camp, and then bring it back to us. And we have the tools. We can basically laser sight the suspension, do a couple little tweak adjustments to make sure it is always pointing straight down the road with your load in it, the way that you haul cargo. This is engineered to haul straight down the road when it's empty, but some people put in different cargo in different ways. So to make sure that, your tires, your brakes, your suspension are always going to wear evenly, that's a little thing we can do for you here if you're so inclined. So give us a call. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, everything between. We do it all. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.